Hello and welcome to the Glesga Dad podcast. Coming up this week, if you never went to Little Marco's as a child for your birthday, then you were a nobody.
That's why you're somebody new. Right, that explains it. So I'll put my bottle down and you'd throw your bottle, right? And if your bottle broke my bottle, you win. Competitive bottle throwing. What's wrong with you? Don't you get this?
At New Year, bigger bonfire, everyone builds a bonfire, but
No, it's a council bonfire.
it's the bigger community.
Oh, the bigger community.
Aye.
Okay, they buy the wood out of Waitrose. Fucking pish.
But before then, just wanted to remind you of our Patreon, which is now live, and you can subscribe to our channel for as little as £3 a month.
And if you subscribe to Patreon, then you get exclusive access to our live shows featuring the likes of Jordan Young, Greg Hempel, Victor if you're still game, and others like that. Because, hey, Glesga Dad's connected, isn't we?
But this week, we're talking about everything grown up in Scotland.
Well, son, you grew up in a wee middle class heaven. You see, you and I had different upbringings. Culturally, is that the right word? I was sitting next to a Guardian reader on the bus, and culturally, we had different experiences. It never ceases to amaze me, and I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. You've never known the joy of raking the bins, especially when you rake a bin and it was a lucky midgie, a lucky bin. And suddenly it's like discovering buried treasure. Somebody's flung away a load of Lego or something. Lucky midgie! And you're in the bin. And then it would be like an archaeological excavation on Tutankhamun's pyramid, right? You'll never know the joy of that. Everybody I grew up with raked the bins. Because they were in a load of germs and filth. They were exposing themselves to germs and pathogens, which means that when they grew up, they never had any allergies or anything like that. See, you were always too clean. When you were a kid, the minute you got manky, you were stripped bollock naked and papped in a bath and washed with clean clothes on. But that's the way your generation was. My generation, we were manky wains, were happy wains.
So were you the generation you only had one bin?
It was everybody's bin. It was a bin. It was called Easter House, right? And it was just one big bin. So everybody, right, round the back. So all the houses were built in a square, and it was round the back area. And you hung a washing out, and the bins were there. And the bins, they were enormous. I mean, must have been skilled guys, bin men. That was a serious job back in the day. No. You need to... This is what gets me. You used to be lying in your kip and the bins would get emptied. You didn't have to take the bins out. No, you need to take the bins out.
You didn't have to take the bin out?
No, you never took the fucking bins out. Never took the bins out. No, you need to take the bins out or your bins don't get fucking emptied.
And bigger, the lid has to be shut or they don't take it.
What if the lid's open?
They don't take it.
So if you put too much in it and it's slightly ajar?
If it's not completely flat, they don't take it.
Oh, cast. See that? This is bureaucracy gone mad. Right? That's just pish. I see there's something on Facebook where it's this device which is a metal rod with another piece on it that you clip it onto the bin and push everything down inside the bin. Another piece of crap that you never needed before, but some arsehole won't empty the bin because it's slightly ajar. And you don't get your bins emptied. And then the next week it's worse. Or the next 2 weeks, because you don't empty them every week now. In 2 weeks, what are you going to do with all the crap you did have that should be in that bin? This nonsense. It's fucking nonsense.
Because we wanted a bigger bin, but you've got to do a 2 week log of your rubbish.
A 2 week log?
You've got to log.
What do you mean?
Well, if you want a bigger bin, if you've got kids, you've got to make they send you a journal for 2 weeks and you log how much you're putting in your bin in order to get a bigger bin.
Look at my face. Are you fucking serious? Are you absolutely fucking serious that your council expects you to sit and log your fucking rubbish? Are you fucking serious?
No, it's like you've got to put a business case forward that you need a bigger bin.
You know what? This is fucked. The world's fucked. Are you fucking serious?
Aye. So if you want to, so they do like a blue bin, it's the cardboard plastic. So if you want a family extension bin, you've got to log it to justify.
A family extension bin?
Aye, you get a bigger.
Such a thing exists?
Aye, you get a bigger bin.
I'm losing the will to live. I can't believe this pish even exists. Empty the fucking bins. Empty the bins, for fuck's sake. South Lanarkshire Council. South Lanarkshire Council. Sort it out. Empty his bin. You've got him in the house logging his fucking rubbish. This is outrageous. This man's got a life. Well, clearly you've not got a fucking life. Get a fucking life. Oh, man. Logging your rubbish now.
My Christmas tree's still in the garden because they wouldn't take that because it was above 6 feet and I had to tie it up.
Well, fucking cut it in half. Get a hacksaw and cut it fucking off. What's wrong with you?
I don't have a hacksaw.
I despair, honestly. We were meant to be talking about growing up in Scotland or something. Now we're talking about the fucking bins in South Lanarkshire. This is outrageous. Life is for living. No sitting in the house going, chicken Kiev wrapper. 3 grams. I bet you have to weigh it, you fucking idiot. I would not put up with that. That's just outrageous. I would rather put all the crap into a bag and get the bus up to the Cowp and fucking fling it out the fence. Fuck that. No chance. Get it up,
You can't do that now. You've got to book a time slot.
Well, they've got to fucking catch me first. I'm getting up at the Cowp and flinging it out the fence.
They don't let you in.
I'm outside. I'm flinging it out the fence. I don't need to get in.
Do you know that? You have to book a time slot for the dump.
Trust me, it's just a load of pish. Fuck the council. Fuck them. You pay council tax. It's £2,000 a year. £2,400. It must be $2,500 a year. And I've got to itemise all the crap in my bin. Fuck you. Fuck you. Empty the bin. The bin's there. The crap's in it. Empty it.
So tell me then, growing up, because when I grew up...
Well, I raked the bins. That's the thing. We recycled the right way in the old days because we get in the bin and went, that should have been there, that should be back in my house. That's how we recycle. That's how we recycle, baby. No need for all this bollocks.
Recycle and reuse.
Do you never play a game called Bottley?
No.
Right. It's a very simple game. Right. You would rake the bins and find all the bottles in the bin. And what you would do, you would have a bottle and I would have a bottle. And you would put your bottle down against the wall and I would fling my bottle at your bottle. It's a bit like conkers with bottles. And if my bottle smashed your bottle, I'm king for the day. But then you would get another bottle and say, let's see, your bottle can go against this. So I'll put my bottle down and you'd throw your bottle, right? And if your bottle broke my bottle, you win. But if my bottle stayed there and your bottle broke when you threw it, then I'm 2 points up. You get it? And then, but sometimes what would happen, suppose you flung your bottle and your bottle didn't smash, then it was my turn. You'd put your bottle down and I would hit your bottle with my bottle. That's a simple game. Hours of fun. Hours of fun.
What did you win?
Nothing. It was for glory. Competitive bottle throwing. What's wrong with you? Don't you get this? That's what we done. A game of bottley. Now, I remember one time, there was various versions of the game. So you would have, suppose you've had a champagne bottle or a flagon bottle, which was unusual because you used to sell flagons of cider and you got money back for a flagon bottle. But sometimes you'd find a champagne bottle, right? And you find one of them. Now, they're hard to smash. So you would line that up against the wall and you get loads of bottles and just fire them at it. I remember my wee brother, we were playing it. Your Uncle Kev, he bent down to pick his bottle up just as I threw my bottle and I fucked him in the head. I fucked him in the head with a bottle. Completely accidentally. So it's a dangerous sport.
Did the bottle smash out his head?
No, thankfully. I just banged him
So
with a
not
bottle.
only did he get his head battered, you won the game.
I don't remember who won because he had to retire. He was injured that week.
Concussion.
So I was 2 weeks in the treatment room. So he fell down the bottle league.
So did you never play, like I would play, while you were smashing bottles, I'd be playing like Mario Kart and all that.
That didn't exist.
You must have been bored though.
What?
You must have been bored shitless.
I was never bored, man. Never bored. So you would just go round about the doors of the district and you'd just chap somebody's door, which was a great laugh, and run like fuck. It was a great laugh. Or you'd put bangers through somebody's letterbox.
See, that's just...
Or
nuts.
stick bangers in their keyhole. And when it's in a close, and when it went up, the noise was unbelievable. So some bam sitting in his house, I've stuck a banger in his keyhole and let the and ran like fuck.
Very good to set.
And he's in his house shiting himself, gets a free.
Very good set his house on fire.
Fuck your arse. It's a banger. We never set anybody's house on fire. But you would do stuff like that. You never done that. You never done that.
Because the first time I ever done that, I was dared to throw a jobby.
A jobby.
Aye. So
And you had money to buy bangers as well.
I put a stick in a turd and I threw it at some guy's window and no expecting it stuck to the window, and the guy like jumped up and chased me and caught me and took me back to my pal's house. But my pal their family was mental, and then the woman, the wife, his ma was ready to kill the guy.
For putting his hands on you. So you stuck a job at his window.
Aye, well she's like, why are you touching him? And he's like, because he threw a shite at my window. But I wasn't expecting it to actually stick to his window.
No, shite sometimes does that. Flinging off shite, it sticks. It's an old Scottish term.
Inland Lithgow, the family were called the Hardys, ironically.
Aye.
And
they were a hard crew.
Aye,
They were,
a
aye.
hard crew.
Right. So that was it. Your 140
That was it.
into jobby weekend.
Aye, chapdoor.
And you get caught.
Chapdoor, run away, doing stuff like that, get caught, man.
Never done it.
Never done it again. Just
You know, I pity you. But it was a different world you were born into. My world was, no health and safety. Lighting fires all the time. Bonfires and stuff. Building a den. You never built a den?
No.
Never built a den. You'd get wood and all that. Somebody'd throw out an old wardrobe or something. So that is the superstructure for a den. Somebody fling out an old wardrobe, an old couch, then you'd furniture for your den. And then you would get old pallets or doors and you'd build a den. And if you managed to get tarpaulins and stuff that made it waterproof, you would have a den. And then the den, I mean, these were dangerous contraptions because they weren't nailed together or nothing. There was just stuff all stuck on top of each other. So architecturally, geniuses, right? You know, like the arch, like a proscenium arch, right? Now we were good den builders and it was pretty solid, and you'd be in the den. But there would always be some ball bag. People were allowed in the den, people weren't allowed in the den. You're not going in my den. You come in, you're not going in my den. And he would fucking knock the den down when you're all inside it. Or set fire to the den when you're all inside it.
See, I'd be going round it looking for snagging issues.
Well, that's the thing, because that's your nature. You got a skill for something big deal, man.
But what would you do just sitting there? Why'd you not just sit
Sit in your den, tell each other ghost stories. You'd your own wee place. We guys built dens. I don't know if lassies do it. I don't know if girls do it, but we guys build dens. Mum will build a den. It's a gang hut. It's your place, your domain, your kingdom. It's just a thing, I don't know. I can't explain it. Maybe if there's any psychologists out there, you could give us the underlying psychological need for shelter or a gang hut or something. And you know, we mates, this is your den. And then you would make improvements to the den. You would go to the Ideal Den show. down at the Bywell in Easterhouse, the Ideal Den show, there would be a guy there with fresh pallets and stuff like that. I go, oh, I could see an extension coming to the den. You didn't need planning permission or nothing like that. Or sometimes though, when the bin men came, they would take your den away. They'd bin your den. You go, oh, fuck. The bin men took the den.
Right, we're away to phone the health and safety executive. But before then, here's a wee clip from our live show. And remember, for £3 a month, you can sign up to our Patreon. By subscribing, you're supporting Glesga in order to produce more and better content.
He's talented and he speaks really well. He's got that Scottish, Canadian, Mid-Atlantic, you know.
Lloyd fucking Grossman.
Yes. Let's see who lives in this house.
Through the keyhole.
Through the keyhole.
When people meet me and you know they come up to me and they're like, oh, hello Victor, I'm like, hi, how are you? And they're like, fuck off.
And remember, we've got another live show coming up and an Edinburgh Fringe run. So again, visit glesgadad.com or click on the bio link for any of our socials. But let's get back to everything growing up in Scotland. So if you never had anywhere to go like Little Marco's, because that was where I would go.
What was that?
It was like the best kids' play area.
Did it cost money?
Aye.
Yeah, we weren't going there.
So you would go...
So you had to... So, aye, because your generation, your parents, we had to pay for yous to play. Structured, safe. There was nothing like that back in the day.
If you never went to Little Marco's as a child for your birthday, then you were a nobody. You had to have your party at Little Marco's.
So you're somebody new. Right, aye. That explains it. And who are you again? Little Marco's. Oh, walk straight in, sir. You're talking out your hole.
Well, you get a sort of follow-up, like a Groupon version. Coco's, that was there was one in Renfrew and one in Coatbridge. But that wasn't soft play, that was hard play. You'd get knocked out with an inflatable letter. They had go-karts, they had bouncy castles, they had slides, they had Marco the Bear that used to come out and sing happy birthday to you.
Marco the Bear? That sounds a well dodgy job, right? Fair enough. It wasn't good enough to be the mascot.
You would get your wee sort of lunch, like your Happy Meal lunchbox, and then they would have this twirly cardboard hat that you would wear.
It sounds awful.
It was incredible.
It just sounds terrible.
Let us know in the comments if you went to Little Marco's. It doesn't sound terrible. And
if you didn't go to Little Marco's, then clearly you don't matter.
It was a place to be.
I think, to be honest, if I look back on my childhood and I look back on yours, I mean, it's just different, but there was a freedom when we were wings. There was a freedom. You're just running about. I mean, getting bonnywood, right? So it was coming up to bonfire night. You would get bonnywood. So you would go hunting for wood for a bonfire. And then it would all get collected and it would ruin our back. All the boys, it was ruin our back. All the bonnywood, and you would have to guard it. Because other punters from across the street, they'd come and try and steal your bonnywood. Now, weirdly, I mean, in the days, nobody stole it in the night time because everybody was in their bed because, you know, your wains, you get shouted in for your dinner and you're in your bed and then you get back up in the morning and it begun again. You guarding the bonnywood so that when you're bonfire, you'd put it all together on bonfire night. The older guys, they would put it all together and go, right, stuff it with paper and everything and then light it. Oh, the bonfire and everybody's dancing around it. It was great, man. And then you would get like aerosol cans and bang an aerosol can into the bonfire, and when it exploded, it was like a bomb going off. You hear it all out of the back, boom, aerosol cans in the bonfire, and then when the bonfire, so it takes about an hour and a half. It's just embers and ashes, but it's still burning, it's still hot. You would get totties in tin foil. Beautiful.
I could have played 5 levels of Mario Brothers by then.
But you weren't really living. You weren't building fires and being at fires and causing explosions and learning to cook for yourself. I mean, we were happy. Do you still see bonfires?
The bigger bonfire.
Nah, it's pish. It's all pish. Build your own bonfire.
Do they build their own bonfire? At New Year, bigger bonfire, everyone builds a bonfire, but
No, it's a council bonfire. I'm talking about an independent operation. I'm talking about just a load of guys going, man, we'll build a bonnie.
that is what we...
Right.
that-
No, that's the council.
No, it's no. It's the bigger community.
Oh, the bigger community.
Aye.
Oh, good. They buy the wood out of Waitrose. Fucking pish. Right. The community bonfire. Well, that's as close as you're going to get. But I'll bet you there's some ballbag in a high vis going, "No, that's not very safe." Right. We don't have any of that pish. We're living on the edge, boy. We just built a bonnie. What's wrong with it? Dangerous. Fuck you. It's getting locked.
Was M&D's around when you were wee? Strathclyde
What?
Park?
Theme parks?
Aye.
No. It was just a swing park. I mean, there was swing parks, but you kind of grew out of them. I mean, and there would be swings, which if they weren't wrapped round the frame, you get a shot on the swings. There would always be a chute, but it was covered in clabber. Normally, people would pick up dog shite and just rub dog shite on the chute, so that was fairly unusable. And the roundabout. The roundabout was always pretty dodgy because you would be on that and you would be on the roundabout going wee, then somebody come along and swing it around at 140 mile an hour and you'd get fucking lost. So there was swing parks, but what we did have, you'd have a rope swing in the park. Did you ever do that?
I would never have done
I mean,
that.
so I could never climb trees. I was never a tree climber, but some guys could climb trees. And what they would do, they would get a washing line, they would climb a tree, and it would be on a hill, right? So the tree would be maybe doing an incline. So there was always one at Tollcross Park where it went down to the burn and maybe 40, 50 feet. And so somebody would climb a tree and put the rope swing down. And at the rope swing, you would go on the swing. There would be a bit of wood tied to it, like a seat. And fucking dangerous. Right? And you would go in the rope swing and go wallop right out. And you'd be up about 30 feet. Right? But it always snapped. Eventually, so it was like fucking Russian roulette. Right? Everybody would get a shot of this, right, on the road swing. Wow. And eventually, it was only what goes up must come down. You would just either the rope would snap, or it would untie itself, or the branch would snap. It was just waiting to happen. It was an inevitability. It was always going to happen. The question was when, right? This was never a permanent thing. And some poor, unlucky wee bastard was going to jump on it and going to go, wee whack. Now, I don't recall ever anybody getting anywhere nearly remotely badly injured. Few bruises, a bit of a fright, shat herself, and that was it, and gave everybody else a good laugh. I mean, I remember once I fell off it and rolled right down the hill, and and everybody pissed herself for about an hour. So it happened. I mean, these were great things. A rope swing. There would always be one about where there's a tree and a hill, a washing line and a block of wood tied around it so that you would jump on it. And, the bit of wood's between you, so the rope's there. Brilliant fun. Hours of fun.
So did you never get the marches or a gala day in Easterhouse?
The marches and a gala day.
With floats and all that?
There was the gala day and all that,
You
but
get the shows.
I was never into that.
Did the shows ever come?
Aye, but you never had any money for it.
Do you know what I paid?
It's not like with you growing up. You had money for stuff like that. We never had money to go to carnival. We'd go to the carnival And we'd stand and look at everybody having fun and go, I wish we could do that.
You never caught a fish or anything?
I think I did win a goldfish once, away back in. Aye, I think I remember. I don't know what happened to that fish.
Hook a duck?
Did I hook it? I don't know what I done. I remember I did win a fish, which is the most pointless thing ever.
It was at the carnival though, it wasn't like...
I was at the carnival, aye. It was in the fishmongers. I didn't win that week's sweepstake.
Your bottle never smashed, so you got a fish.
Here's a fish. And I remember we put this fucking goldfish. When my mum put it in a bowl or something, there's a fish, and fucking fish died or something within 3 years or something. It was just pointless.
You must have done something rather than just walking about the streets, man.
That's all we did. It was always, you come home from school, and if you had homework to do, you'd maybe do your homework, you'd have your dinner, and then you were out until you get shouted in, doing whatever you wanted. If you played football, you played football, fair enough. Maybe you never played football, there's a swing, build a den, rake the bins, game of bottle, game of chapdoor, runaway, game of kick a can or something. That's what happened. You just done stuff, whatever you done. We were never, ever, ever bored. Never. There was always something to do, and we invented it all ourselves. I don't remember ever being bored. If you were in the house, you were probably bored. Because nothing happened in the house.
You wouldn't get like global video or anything.
Well, when videos started, here's an interesting thing. when videos started, I think it was about 1980, 81. And if you had a video recorder, a video player, and the old video players, the British ones, the top opened up and you put the videotape in it, and the remote control was connected to the video. It wasn't a remote, it was on a bit of wire, right? A video was about £400, which back in 1980 was fucking enormous money. It's like, fuck, I don't know, is that like 6 weeks' wages or something? There was two things. They were valuable and they were mobile, they were portable. So if you had one, you didn't tell anybody you had one because your house would get screwed, right? They'd break in your house, steal your video. And if you wanted to rent videos out the video shop, and there was no Blockbuster, there would be independent video shops. Some guy would open up a shop and he'd buy all these films and rent them out. In order to even join the video shop, the club and the video, you had to pay to become a member. So you had to pay £10 to just be a member to allow you to buy a video. And that was the guy's way of saying, and they checked your address and all that, because you could probably rent a video and fuck off with it. Give a false name. If you had a video, you wouldn't let anybody know you'd rented the video, because then they'd find out you had a video in your house. And your house would get screwed. And then you hear all these stories when you're in school. Oh, have you seen The Devil's Rain? Have you seen The Zombie Creeping Flesh? Have you seen Driller Killer? And all these fucking video nasties that came out at first, all these slasher movies and that people all talked about. I mean, I never saw any of them because we never had a video. But you'd hear people talking about it, and there was a lot of, they never saw them either, but they made out they did. It was literally you going to Little Marco's, you wanted to be in with the in crowd. I've got a video. We never had a video. We just had 3 channels on the telly, and it was brilliant.
Do you know the favourite place to go was Laser Quest in Argyle Street?
We had slings, man. You'd make a sling, and that was bang. And you fight with slings, your shields, and you make shields and stuff and fight each other.
Catapults?
Slings, aye, a catapult, that's what we call it. Slings, man.
I remember my mate Matthew Clarkson, we went to Laser Quest, and he bashed through the wrong emergency exit, and he's walking about Specsavers with this big laser gun. Folk are getting their eyes lasered, and he's got a big laser gun. They must have been thinking, fucking hell, that's not getting near me.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine Specsavers said to him, You should have gone to Specsavers, son. You're in the wrong place.
Oh, Laser Quest was the dog's bollocks, man. So that's all we've got time for. And remember, you can sign up to our Patreon by visiting glesga.com, and you can also find out more about our live shows, including the Edinburgh Fringe and our shows at Blackfriars in Glasgow.
Get in quick for tickets for our live shows because it's selling quite fast. The next show's on Sunday the 28th of July. And also, check out our shows at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe in August.
Now, we'll be back next Wednesday. However, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you'll get the episode that drops on Monday, so you'll get it 48 hours before everyone else. Now remember, please leave us 5 stars on your podcast provider. Hit that bell button on YouTube, it alerts you when we release a new video. And please also remember, everythingglasgow.com. Visit the website or click the bio link in any of our socials. If you enjoyed us, tell your friends, but if you didn't,
fuck off.